Today, I want to share with you how I've used intermittent fasting to lose weight and body fat percentage after having kids. And I know you can too. So let's get started. So tell me if you can relate. After having 3 kids within 5 years, I felt tired, overweight, sleepy, out of shape, and not making good food choices for myself. I was focused so much on taking care of the kids and just surviving being a new mom that I really had put off all of taking care of myself. And then at that point, I figured, well, it's so much work to get back into shape that I really didn't feel like going through all of that work. Because in the past, when I had lost all that weight, I just gained it right back again, and I felt like I was never gonna find anything that just stuck. So I had all this self-talk going on telling me that it's not easy, it's not gonna work for you, you're not gonna be happy, you're gonna be hungry all the time. And none of that made me want to start a healthy lifestyle. But then I found intermittent fasting, and that has worked so well for me because it's allowed me to basically reframe how I live my life so that I can be healthy, take care of my kids, and feel amazing. I think so often us moms and parents just put the needs of our kids ahead of our own. And so with intermittent fasting, not only does it actually work really well with a busy schedule, it also allows you to be burning fat while you're fasting and taking care of your kids. So it's perfect. So if you haven't watched any of my videos before, I just want to briefly talk about what intermittent fasting is. I have a whole guide on how to get started. I have videos on what I eat in a day with intermittent fasting that I will link to below. Really, what intermittent fasting is that it's an opportunity to have fasting windows where you don't eat anything, you refrain from anything that has calories in it or that elicits an insulin response, and then you have feeding windows during which time you have all of the food that you're gonna have in that day. And so if you condense those time frames down, not only does that allow you to feel fuller when you're eating, it removes any mindless snacking, but it also has some really great benefits, like it helps with cognition, it helps your body burn fat during your fasted times, it helps increase your insulin sensitivity, and it generally allows just you to stop obsessing about when you're gonna eat and what you're gonna eat because you have it all in a nice window. So why I found intermittent fasting to be so helpful for losing weight after I've had children is because it allows me to condense that time that I'm worrying about taking care of myself, focus on that, but then have all that extra time to care about what the kids are eating, getting their food ready, having activities with them, and all of that. I used to find that when I was making them snacks or cooking dinner or whatever, I would just mindlessly snack on what they were eating. But with intermittent fasting, if that's during my fasting window, I know, nope, I'm not having this right now, and it kind of gives you that extra level of control over when you're eating and when you're not eating. The more often you snack, the more insulin secretions you're gonna have in your body, and what that means is your body is not gonna be working on energy that's burning up stored fat. Instead, it's gonna be working on digesting the food you just ate and then increasing your insulin and your blood sugar to deal with the food that you're giving it all the time. Intermittent fasting instead allows your body to rest and to burn fat, which is awesome for weight loss. One question I get asked a lot is, wait, so you don't eat meals with your children? You guys don't sit down and have a family dinner? The answer is no, not usually. I mean, we have kids ranging from 3 to 11, and they have practice after school, they have cooking classes they're going to, they have taekwondo they have to go do. We're not all sitting down at the dinner table, usually anyway during the weekdays. Sometimes we have meals together on the weekends and we all have that time. But during the weekdays, life is crazy. Schedules are crazy, it's pretty hectic. So for me, having my meal ahead of time and taking care of myself before the kids are needing their meals is a really great way to allow them what they need and me what I need. Plus, another problem I used to have as a mom of many children is I used to get really hangry at dinner time, and I would be so hungry trying to cook the dinner so that everybody could eat, and then, trying to get everybody their meals. By the time you sit down, your food's cold anyway, and you're hangry and you're just mad, and it's not enjoyable at all. So instead, I have my meal ahead of time and then I take care of them. And it works really well for everybody. But when we have a family meal or we're going out to dinner or we have a time frame that we're all wanting to sit down and eat, I will sit down and I'll have that meal with everybody. I can just change my eating window around that day, and then I can just compensate and have my fasting and my eating windows just adjust to whatever my needs are in that day. I would definitely recommend checking out my guide to intermittent fasting video. But really the idea is you want to come up with a plan and have a schedule schedule and have time frames that you are fasting and when you are not fasting. What worked for me was I pushed my fasting window from, instead of having breakfast, I pushed that to lunch. And so I would start my fast after dinner the night before and then not have any food until I had my lunch at about 11 o'clock the next day. And I've just kind of kept pushing that until I found what worked best for me and my schedule. So nowadays my eating window is from about 11:30 a.m. to about 4 p.m. And then all other times I'm fasting and I'm having just water and such. And if you're curious on what breaks or doesn't break a fast, I have a video on that as well. But the bottom line with intermittent fasting is if you can get 12, 16 or more hours fasted, that is ideal. And there's a ton of different ways to make that happen for you. It's really about how you approach your food, having mindful decisions about what you're eating and when you're eating it. I recommend choosing a healthy lifestyle. I personally have really felt that clean eating works well for me because I get all these healthy, nutritious foods and I can avoid a lot of other junk and processed stuff, but I still get a lot of foods that I love. So combining clean eating with intermittent fasting has worked really well for me. And that is a really great plan for how to lose weight after kids and still love your lifestyle, and it's just gonna be so much easier. Check out my video guide on intermittent fasting and how to get started, and I will see you in the next video.